recently I have gotten myself into the act of collecting vinyl records. I came back with a bit of a haul from a thrift store. I knew it was too good to be true. There were 9 records, and all of them are basically in the same condition. And they were all, well, I think most of them anyway, were missing the inner sleeve. But they're all looking something like this. Looks more like a slalom course than a vinyl record. Now, there's a couple of different ways that you can fix this. Number one, you could just get a new record, a new copy of the same album, and in the case of this, there's about 1 billion copies of this out there. But because there's 1 billion copies of this out there, I want to try something a little ludicrous that I read about. And it's so silly that I just have to see this for myself. You know, I've heard of people putting them between 2 panes of glass, setting them in an attic for a year. I've heard of people putting books on top of them and letting them sit. I've heard of people just setting them on a shelf in between other records and having them come out just fine. But what if I told you you could use your microwave oven? I've heard of people using their oven, like their actual conventional oven. I don't think I'm daring enough to try that. But the microwave method, like I said, it sounds so outlandish, I just have to see it for myself. So we're going to find out in this video if it is a good idea to microwave your vinyl records. Now again, don't do this on something you actually care about. This record, like I said, there's about 1 billion copies of this, and it looks like it was sealed. It was not sealed, it was opened. So like I said, I don't care about it. It's not in the best condition ever. But we're going to give this a try. Now, I'm sure that this probably should be cleaned before I do this, but again, I don't really care. I just want to see if this is going to work. This is a nothing to write home about generic microwave oven. Nothing special about it. But it just so happens that the turntable platter in it, turntable, get it? Sorry, is about the size of this 12-inch record. So I've got it in there, centered as best as possible. Pull that up. I'm going to get a glass. Fill it about half full of water. I'm going to clean that so that way I don't get the label in the middle wet. I can't believe I'm actually doing this. Put it again as centered as possible in the middle of the record. Making sure again it's centered on the turntable. 2 minutes. I'm going to stand back. I can't believe I'm actually doing this. I'll come back when something happens. I don't smell anything on fire yet. This is so stupid. Okay. Okay, now the thing I read said nothing about letting it sit. I'm gonna take this glass, which, like I said, is probably extremely hot. I have a feeling that actually made it worse. Or it didn't make any improvement. Let's see if I can get it out of there. Yeah, here it is, after its drive-by microwaving. Credit where credit's due, it didn't make it any worse. But I don't think there's any improvement. Maybe slightly. I don't think I'm dedicated enough to put it in there again. You know, because I already put it in for an additional 2 minutes. Yeah, look at that nice warp right there. If this plays at all, that'd be amazing. Of course, I don't have sound. And I can't really play too much of this on YouTube anyway. I can't believe that plays as well as it plays. It even plays at 45 RPM. So, I guess at the end of the day, while it's not necessarily a bad idea to microwave your records, it's not really a good idea either. It doesn't result in much improvement. Of course, your mileage may vary. I'm sure it probably has worked for somebody. And maybe for some of these less egregiously warped records it would work just fine, but not for this one. So I think I'll have to either find a new copy of this or find a different method for de-warping. Thanks for watching, and if you have any comments, feel free to leave them below. And yes, I'm well aware of how scratched that top panel is. I bought it like that. That's why it was only $30 instead of $60 or more.